Hello, I'm doing a book review, and the book I want to review is Kinski. Now, Kinski is a graphic novel written and illustrated by Gabriel Hardman and published by Image Comics, and this was published in 2014. Now, Kinski is about this traveling salesman named Joe who runs across this dog, and this dog he ends up calling Kinski, naming him after the German actor Klaus Kinski, and what happens is this dog ends up getting taken by animal control, and then the dog ends up getting claimed by the actual family who owns him, but in Joe's mind, he sees the dog's owners as being neglectful of this dog because they let the dog run away before, so he basically ends up kidnapping this dog, who he names Kinski, and things just start going downhill from there. Like, he eventually realizes that taking this dog was a pretty shitty thing to do, even though he does view the owners of this dog as being neglectful. He realizes it's not his place to make that kind of judgment, so he does eventually try to bring the dog back, but things don't really work out the way he plans them to, and once again, things just go downhill from there. Now, Kinski I thought was a very enjoyable read, and I would definitely recommend this, and the book is also pretty fast-paced too. Like, it gets in, it does its thing, and then gets out. Like, it's a pretty quick read. Like, honestly, I was actually surprised at how quickly this book moved, and if I were to have a complaint about this book, I would say the book is a little too short, in my opinion. Like, by the time I was finished reading this, I was like, wow, is that it? Like, I do wish the book was maybe a little bit longer, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, I thought the character development in this book with the main character, Joe, I thought was pretty good for the most part. Like, in the beginning of the story, Joe is honestly a little unlikable in the beginning, at least in my opinion, because I kind of felt like he was a little too self-righteous with this dog. Like, he takes this dog, like, he pretty much kidnaps the dog, and in his eyes, he thinks he's doing the right thing because he sees these people who own the dog as being neglectful, but he doesn't know these people, and the dog only ran away, and stuff like that happens all the time, so it's really not his place to make that kind of decision and make that kind of judgment on somebody that he really doesn't know. I mean, as the story goes on, you realize that he was kinda right in what he did, but kinda wrong at the same time. When you find out a little bit more about the owners of the dog, it's like, the people who own him, one of them is neglectful truly, while the other two aren't. You'll understand if you read the book, but at the same time, though, I felt like he was a little, once again, a little too self-righteous, and I felt like he was making judgments on people where it really wasn't his place to make those kinds of judgments, and I felt like the character of Joe, in a lot of ways, was almost like an anti-hero in a way, or sort of a morally ambiguous character, but as the story goes on, he does start to realize that he was being kind of a dick, and he does, once again, he does try to bring the dog back, but things start going horribly wrong. So I would say he's almost like an anti-hero in a way. I also really liked the character of Holly, who is this woman that Joe meets, and she, like Joe, is actually a really big movie fan, and is a really big fan of the actor Klaus Kinski, who Joe names the dog after, and I really liked this character only because she actually reminded me of a friend of mine, so that's kind of why I really gravitated towards this character, and really kind of liked this character, was because she reminded me of somebody that I actually know in real life. But Holly ends up playing a pretty important role in this story, but I'm not going to give away exactly what her role is. Also, Gabriel Hardman's artwork in this book is actually really well done. So yeah, that's my review on Kinski by Gabriel Hardman, and bye.